The 213 Files, Episode 1. The Woman in the Apartment Above Me, File Number 1. Oregon. This case begins with footsteps. Not the kind you hear in a busy apartment building. Not the kind you can explain away with bad plumbing or someone dropping their phone upstairs. No. These footsteps started at the exact same time every single night. 2:13 a.m. And they didn't stop. Not even after the woman living above the witness vanished. You're listening to The 213 Files, a true crime horror series where each case shares one impossible connection. Something or someone always appears at 2:13 a.m. Now let's open file number 1. Incident location, Salem, Oregon. Witness, male, 26. Missing person, female, 34. Last known movement, walking upstairs at 9:12 p.m. Event pattern, footsteps recurring nightly at 2:13 a.m. Outcome, unresolved. Attached evidence, unidentified handwritten note found under the doormat. On the night of April 18th, the witness was reheating leftover pizza, a depressing detail he remembered clearly. At 9:12 p.m., he heard the upstairs neighbor, a quiet 34-year-old woman, walking up the stairs. Her keys jingled, then a heavy thud. Sharp thumpy. He assumed she had dropped groceries, but that was the final sound anyone ever heard from her apartment. The next morning, no footsteps, no morning routine, no movement above him. Not even the faint sound of her coffee maker he'd grown used to. On day 4, her mailbox overflowed. On day 5, she was officially reported missing. But the witness never told police the strangest part. Not yet. Because on that 5th night, at 2:13 a.m., he woke to something impossible. Slow, rhythmic footsteps overhead. Footsteps pacing in the exact same circle, over and over, for 3 minutes. He froze. She was missing. The apartment was empty, but something was walking above him. The next night, 2:13 a.m., the footsteps returned. Same pace, same location. Night after night, always at 2:13, always lasting exactly 180 seconds. He described it as too deliberate, too slow, too patient. He began recording the sounds, but every recording had the same issue. Audio distortion, high static. At the moment the footsteps started, the audio cracked, warped, and dipped in frequency, as if something interfered with the microphone. Police report excerpt, case number 23-0418. No signs of struggle or forced entry. Interior appears undisturbed except for living room carpet peeled back in a circular pattern. No footprints detectable, no biological trace. The pattern is consistent with repeated pacing in the same rotational path. One night after the footsteps stopped, the witness heard something new. 3 slow knocks, deep and hollow. Not from upstairs, from his ceiling, directly above his bed. He didn't sleep. He barely breathed. The next morning, he called the building manager. She insisted the woman's apartment was locked and untouched. On the 8th night, police finally granted permission to force entry. The witness accompanied them. Door creaks open. He described the moment the door opened. The air felt wrong, like stepping into a room that hasn't been disturbed for years, but it had only been days. Nothing was stolen, nothing broken, nothing misplaced. Except the living room carpet had been peeled back into a perfect circle, the same shape as the footsteps he heard. Police chalked it up as eccentric behavior, but the witness wasn't buying it. That night, the footsteps returned, even with the apartment empty. The witness prepared to move out. He didn't want answers. He just wanted sleep. During his last night in the apartment, the footsteps behaved differently. At 2:13 a.m., they started as usual, slow pacing. Then they stopped. Silence. Then the steps moved, not pacing, walking. Footsteps approach overhead, across the apartment, toward the stairwell, down the stairs. Footsteps descending. The witness said, "I realized with this cold, horrible certainty, whatever was up there wasn't confined to her apartment anymore." The footsteps reached his door, then 4 loud knocks. He never opened the door. The next morning, when he moved out, he found something tucked under his doormat, a small folded note. Inside, written in shaky handwriting, 2:13, it watches through the floorboards. No signature, no explanation. Handwriting did not match the missing woman. This became file number 1 in the 2:13 investigation. Authorities suspended the case due to lack of evidence. The woman has never been found. The apartment is now permanently vacant. But what the witness experienced, the footsteps, the knocking, the interference, matches dozens of other reports across the United States. Different states, different victims, same time, 2:13 a.m. If you think this was strange, file number 2 is much worse.